Opening credits. Ava and Carol Detective Agency, The Haunted Mansion. Written by Thomas Lockhaven, with Emily Chase. Edited by Dave Aretha. Narrated by Amy Johnson. Chapter 9. Dive Bomber. "I'm dead!" cried Derek, jumping up from his seat.
"What is it?"
asked Carol.
"My parents' Christmas party is tonight," gasped Derek. "I was supposed to help get the house ready. Ugh."
He yanked his coat from the back of his chair, knocking it loudly to the floor.
"Derek,"
said Ava, picking up the chair and helping him with his coat,
"give your dad a call. Tell him you're on your way."
He gave Ava an "are you kidding me" look. She countered with,
"Trust me on this one. You have no idea what we've put our parents through."
Derek hesitated. Darkness had snuck up on the trio as they ate grilled cheese sandwiches and discussed the case at the Main Street diner.
"Geez, I didn't even realize it was dark outside. How long were we here?"
asked Ava.
"At least a couple hours,"
said Carol, hurriedly throwing some money on the table. Derek reached for his pocket, but Carol shook her head.
"Don't worry about it. We gotta get going. You grab lunch next time."
"Wow," smiled Derek.
"Thank you. You guys are awesome."
"We know," winked Ava playfully.
"Now get going."
She shoved Derek toward the door. The girls stepped a few feet away from Derek, giving him some privacy while he called his dad.
"Okay,"
said Derek, looking a little less panicked.
"He's still angry, but I managed to calm him down some." "I'm sure he's got a lot on his mind right now," said Carol. "We'll walk with you to your house."
The trio took a shortcut through the center of town to save time. They hopped a fence at the Brown Recreation Center and trudged across the soccer field. The snow glistened and sparkled like tiny silver diamonds on a sea of felt beneath the moonlight.
"Everything looks so beautiful, so pristine," said Carol. "I almost hate to walk across the field, you know? It's completely untouched."
"Like your YouTube channel?" snickered Ava.
"Har har, so funny."
Derek stopped in his tracks.
"Did you hear that?"
Ava pulled her earmuffs down from her ears.
"What am I supposed to hear?" "I hear it," said Carol. "It's a buzzing."
Suddenly, a huge black drone screamed above them, flying only inches from their heads.
"Whoa!"
yelled Derek, ducking.
"What the? Run!"
yelled Ava. The children dove into the snow as the drone arched and dove again, rocketing through the air like a missile. Carol sat up, looking around, trying to see who was controlling the drone.
"Crawl along the fence!"
yelled Derek, pointing to the fence that bordered the park.
"It can't get us there."
The trio scrambled toward the fence, fighting their way through the knee-high snow. Wham! The drone struck Carol in the back of the head, knocking her face down into the snow.
"Carol!"
screamed Ava. She crawled through the snow to her.
"Carol, are you okay?" I'm okay,"
said Carol, grabbing the back of her head, her vision filled with stars.
"It's about to dive again,"
yelled Derek.
"Come on, we gotta get to the fence."
Ava looked over her shoulder. She could see the drone make a tight circle in the sky. It raced toward them just as they reached the fence.
"Are you hurt, Carol?"
asked Derek, concern filling his face.
"Just my pride,"
said Carol, gently shaking her head, still seeing stars. The drone hung in the sky, buzzing like a giant mosquito, watching its prey.
If we jump the fence and stay against it, the drone can't get us,
said Ava.
Great idea,
said Derek. The drone moved closer, hovering almost directly in front of them. A red light pulsed.
It's recording us,
whispered Carol. Ava grabbed a handful of snow, packing it into a snowball.
Go away,
she yelled, hurling it at the drone. The drone remained motionless, unmoving, mocking her.
I wish I had my baseball bat, said Derek angrily. I'd go King Kong in that thing. Right now, we just need to get out of here, said Carol. Okay, agreed Derek. On the count of 3?
Ava and Carol nodded.
Ready? 1, 2, 3,
yelled Derek. The trio spun and leapt up, grabbing the fence, pulling themselves up and over. They then fell to the ground on the other side in a tangled mess of arms and legs. The drone rose high up in the sky, directly overhead, still watching.
Okay,
said Ava, as they quickly untangled themselves.
We stick along the fence and then make a run for it between those houses. Then we stay close to the houses and trees until we get to Derek's house.
Derek and Carol nodded.
All right,
said Ava.
Let's go.
But just as Ava's boot hit Fir Street, an angry roar erupted behind them.
What?
Yelled Derek as a sleek black car came barreling toward them. They watched in horror as it launched off the street, rocketing up onto the sidewalk.
Watch out!
Screamed Carol, tackling Ava, knocking her out of the path of the car. The car's engine revved as it slid off the sidewalk, just missing the children, fishtailing wildly as it hit the road.
Derek, are you okay?
Yelled Carol as she sat up.
Yeah,
he whispered, barely able to speak. They watched as the car slipped and slid around the corner, speeding away into the night.
Obviously, he failed driving school,
said Ava, dropping her head back into the snow.
They tried to kill us,
Derek whispered. Carol shook her head.
What did we get ourselves into?
Chapter 10. Never judge a picture by a picture. Carol stood in front of the crime board. It had been 48 hours since the first robbery, and so far, the only suspect was a sketch of a headless monster that Ava had affectionately named Brom Bones, the name of the headless horseman.
This is driving me nuts. I can't tell what's what,
said Carol, her nose literally pressed against the photo of the tunnel system.
Well, we know this is the old church,
said Ava.
And this is Main Street Diner. And this, I think, is Willoughby's Antiques. That's weird, said Carol. I thought that the tunnel system ran under the Hancock Museum.
It did, said Ava.
It's part of their tour. Remember, they have a glass enclosure around the entrance. Maybe that part of the tunnel was built after the photo? Proposed Carol. Or maybe it's a mistake, offered Ava. We don't have anything to compare it to.
Carol's eyes lit up.
Oh, yes, we do. Grab your coat. The museum closes in 10 minutes.
The girls stood at the top of the museum steps, their hands on their waists, their lungs heaving. Ava grabbed the door handle and pulled. It was locked. She smushed her face against the glass. She could see light inside, but as far as she could tell, there was no one inside.
We're too late,
said Carol, pointing to a small closed sign.
Everyone's closing early for the holidays. But they won't be open again until after Christmas,
groaned Ava.
It'll be too late.
If you're enjoying Thomas Lockhaven's audiobook content, please like and subscribe. It's the best way to help out the channel.